Now, if anyone out there knows about Minecraft ARGs, and as you can see below the bottom, I do a lot. They've come up recently. Everyone should be hearing about them on their TikToks, and if you're not, you're missing out. It's one of the biggest thing around. And I think this is Wiffies or Wifeys, is a large Minecraft YouTuber who does these ARGs. So a lot of them are good. If you have heard about the King in Yellow or that ARG, that's this searching for a world that doesn't exist. Now, I've watched pretty much all of that. That's the next one we're going to watch from the start. But today, we're starting off with There's Something Watching Me, and I'm just going to react to it and see how it goes. So let's just do that.
I'm playing a Let's Play world. I made a farm.
The player you're watching right now goes by the username Navy208. He chats to us casually as he shows off his house and his farm, completely unaware that he's being watched. The story begins with a series of relatively normal YouTube videos, but skyrockets down a deeply strange and unsettling rabbit hole, with multiple players going missing and something very unnatural just watching. But let's rewind a little back to Navy, who starts off his first video wondering what happened to his skin, though we don't get much context as to what exactly is wrong. He gives us a tour of his house, his mildly lackluster farm, and his strangely ambiguous green block atop a tree. Navy then shows us some of the land and expands the back of his house and ends the recording there, picking up where he left off in his second video titled Windows. He tries using a door as fuel despite having 17 coal and... wait, there it is. Atop a hill in the distance, for just a second, we can get a glimpse of a strange black block watching Navy with two eyes. Navy doesn't notice it though, and continues.
Like, oh god, where's the best place? Probably the bottom. I'm gonna shrink me down.
Walking around his with two glimpse of a strange.
Didn't see it. That's it. I don't know what the heck that is.
Strange black block watching Navy with two eyes. Navy doesn't notice it though, and continues walking around his base unaware. He comes back to the furnace. The door didn't smelt, so he swaps in coal. He digs holes for the windows. The glass continues to smelt. The block still on the hill outside. Navy leaves the house, looking around. Does he know? He harvests his cacti, evidently unaware he's being watched. Or is he pretending? His items finish smelting. His coal runs dry. He places in the windows of the house, one by one by one by one, avoiding the spot with the block on the hill. He digs a tunnel into the basement of his sandstone foundation. He tiles his floor with cobblestone. Ends. Nothing happens. But there's a detail of this footage that I left out. At the start of the video, we see the chat history between Navy and a player called BaseXD. Yo, I'm back. Yeah, I'll come back later. Okay, I'll record a video. The two then talk about a sheep and Base logs off, but remember Base because this isn't the last we'll see of him. The first two videos so far have been odd, but pretty subtle. However, video 3...
Sorry. However, video 3...
The black block from before has now totally consumed Navy's base with fire, but Navy returns in the next video to no trace of it. Instead, a sign just saying sunlight. Interestingly, as Navy tours the rubble, we can see the black block is now gone from its perch on the hill. In its stead, however, the solid green blocks we saw in video 1 have now replaced Navy's cacti. Navy is clearly puzzled and continues to walk around the world.
I swear I saw something.
Subtle. However, video 3...
I love how I'm breaking down a video of a guy breaking down. I swear I saw...
The black block from before has now totally consumed Navy's base with fire, but sunlight. Interesting hill. In its Navy tours the rubble, we can see the black block is now gone from its perch on the hill. In its...
You see that? Oh my god.
We can see the black block is now gone from its perch on the hill. In its...
Oh my god, bro, I can't be doing this.
Instead, however, we can see the black block is now gone from its perch on the hill. In its...
Yeah, there it is, bottom right corner right here. Guys, I've got this. I should break down the rest of the video. I'm not doing that.
Instead, however, the solid green blocks we saw in video 1 have now replaced Navy's cacti. Navy is clearly puzzled and continues to walk around the world, unsure what to even make of it all. Also worth noting, the arm in this video isn't the blue skin we've seen before. Instead, it's a regular Steve. The sun sets, and the video ends with Navy walking over to a pumpkin patch. The next video, titled Watching, is just 7 seconds of the black blocks. Nothing else. So we know these black blocks are important, but this then begs the obvious question, what is their purpose? Why did they burn down Navy's house? And who's watching him? We don't know much yet, but we get a better idea of what's going on here when we take a look at the description of the last video. The message seems like total gibberish, but if you attach it to the end of a YouTube URL, it takes you to an unlisted video on Navy's channel. Inside, the footage is very strange. It's of a player with a pumpkin on their head and an inventory containing a nether star, 5 space-looking blocks, 2 tulips, and a book. But this isn't any inventory. It's the same amount of levels as what Navy had in the last video right before he walked up to a pumpkin patch. The player, Navy or not, walks back to the house to find 3 signs on a cosmic block of sorts. We can't make out 2 of the signs. This one might say base, but the 3rd sign is in plain sight. Base with a lot of ease. The player keeps walking around for a little.
Sorry, 2 seconds.
Before the video ends, and there's also a comment from Navy himself. The night is approaching. But what does it mean? It's obvious that this might have something to do with base XD, but the connection isn't really obvious. My first reaction is that maybe Navy was captured. It does seem like his XP amount, but what happened to his inventory is a mystery. All we do know is that from here,
I reckon it's a friend. They're gonna drag this on for a while. Like there was another video where they just kept dragging it on and it just was obvious at the start.
here on, things are going to get far stranger, as in the next video, The Eye That Watches, Navy abandons his base with just a brick in his hotbar and sets off into the desert. In the top corner of the screen, we can see the
He's just gonna re-point it out.
black block back atop a tree, watching Navy. He leaves his house and
I'm surprised you missed the other one though. I caught that out like the corner of my eye, and it was very obvious to me.
keeps walking, seemingly unaware of the black blocks that line the rim of every body
Yeah, I was
of
about to
water
say.
he passes. He either somehow doesn't notice, or for some reason is pretending not to. He continues until he reaches a savanna plateau. He climbs over the edge of a hill and sees
What did that say? I actually missed that.
until he reaches a savanna.
This is the same area where Inside was recorded. Oh, okay. So that's where the other guy... Oh. What's up, Abby Sinhossan? I'm just watching some Minecraft ARGs.
A plateau. He climbs over the edge of a hill and sees red cows. Surely he should react, but he doesn't. He keeps walking until there's no excuse not to see it anymore. Navy stares at the cows, and the video ends. Something is evidently wrong with Navy's world, and maybe even Navy himself given his lack of a reaction, but we don't get much time to think it over, since the next video takes us into a completely different world. The video titled Forest notably doesn't have Navy's usual
you hear me?
skin, and is in a square aspect ratio with far worse quality.
I don't know. Can you hear me over like the video, or is it too loud? I'll turn it down a bit. Hold on. I need to turn my mic up. Because this is like extremely loud, I'm guessing. I really can't tell. How's that? Is it like Abbyson? What's up? I did see your message from before and I saw the reply, but it just didn't work, I'm guessing.
Than before. The video consists of a
Wait,
player
hold on. I know this is gonna echo a lot, but I'm gonna build up the stream right now and just see your message from before and I saw the reply, but it just didn't work, I'm guessing.
than before. The video consists of a
Wait,
player
hold on. I know this is alright. That should work. Let's give myself a like real quick. Alright. Yeah, so all of this is all Wiffy's stuff, by the way. This isn't my video.
They are hiding from a skeleton, burrowing down into the ground, and only when they think the coast is clear, running off into the dark of night, just in time for the sun to rise. A minute in, we see a suspiciously dark block, but it may just be a lighting issue. Though while this video itself doesn't have much out of the normal, its description sure does. The text is encoded in zeros and ones, binary, and translating it to English using an online decoder gives us this string: "Don't kill the animals, or that will be mad." Is the "that" referring to the dark block we saw, or is it something else entirely? And whose gameplay even is this? Is it an earlier Navy or someone else? Until further notice, I'll call this person Steven, and we see Steven start off his next video killing a pig, which
Isn't that like the opposite?
might not be the smartest move, I can't lie. Steven stumbles around the plains in the dead of night, nothing strange, but as he comes up over a hill, he freezes. He notices a witch before booking it in the opposite direction, running through a crowd of mobs, tanking hit after hit, until again the video ends with him dying. But this time, the description of the video isn't just a cryptic message. Translating the zeros and ones, we get a link to an unlisted video titled experimentbase.json. Again, we have a new skin, this time red and blue, but the structure they're standing in front of is even more peculiar. It seems to be some sort of shrine made out of blocks we can't exactly identify, with an end portal frame on top. The player stares it down for a few seconds before jumping into the vast ocean in front of them. And that's it. What we just watched is odd, but it isn't obvious how it connects to either Navy or Steven. But luckily, we can tune right back into Steven's story, as the next video picks up with him walking
Before
through.
That goes through, I'm guessing that the you know how it's like don't kill the animals, it'll be mad or something. I'm guessing that that creature we just saw is the thing that will be mad. So I just had like a door open. I don't know who this is. I want to say it's the friend, but I'm guessing it's not. And we know the blue character is the original guy.
Savannah, and then this happens. Hey. Steven turns to run, taking shelter in a nearby cave, shaking his head no, but Base says to come closer, and Steven obliges. The video ends abruptly, with a brief chat message flickering in the bottom of the screen before it cuts. This is the 4th time the name Base has come up, and the 2nd time we've seen it directly on a player. So does this Base have anything to do with the Base
God, is this... Yeah, what?
we saw in Navy's videos? It could be, but whoever he is, it seems Steven is irrationally scared of the guy, yet also obedient like given he comes back when Base asks him to. It's not enough to draw any conclusions yet. All we can do is follow the story, which takes us to the video port, where Steven, I assume, is building up a little house by the beach. The video is extremely normal until 26 seconds in, the screen goes black and this text appears. It then cuts back like nothing happened and Steven finishes the port. But okay, this wasn't an ordinary message, it's clearly some sort of code. And decoding the message from base 64, which you can identify by the 2 equal signs at the end, gets you another link to an unlisted video, inside 2. If you remember inside 1, this video also has someone with a pumpkin on their head, but this time the space blocks are gone and it's just some tulips and another pumpkin. In the corner we can see a pig held captive in a little plot of glass, with the sign underneath saying this: Tom, the last pig on Earth. The player places a tulip and it cuts there, and from what I understand so far, we're watching 3 stories unfold all at once. One is the story of Navy, the player we started this mystery with, who is just showing us around his base while being watched by a strange dark block in the distance. The dark blocks become more and more prevalent, and Navy runs into more and more anomalies before his footage suddenly runs cold. We then get the story of Steven, another player player who, like Navy, is seemingly also just trying to play Minecraft, and if the next video is any indication, is also about to run into something strange. Finally, we have the Inside Man, a figure with a pumpkin on his head that seems to be more in the know as to what's going on, given he's had direct access to the cosmic blocks themselves. Not to mention, assuming that Inside Man isn't Navy, we know he has access to Navy's world as well. It's also very possible that this Inside 2 video was recorded on the same island where Steven built his port, in which case Inside Man has access to both worlds. And I'd even wager that this Inside Man might also be the same person we see in experiment-base.json, given the weird nature of that video. Speaking of base though, both Navy and Steven have had interactions with someone named Base, though to be fair, Navy's base seemed totally normal, while Steven's base... Well, you know, it's unclear what the connection between these three stories exactly is yet, but we know that there's at least some link between Inside Man and Navy, and, well, as I alluded to, Steven is also about to get roped into the fray. Steven starts off this video, again, killing a pig, a decision which may not be the most wise and doesn't go very long unpunished.
Jesus Christ.
Steven boards himself inside the house, the strange crying entity following close behind. It isn't that scary of a creature, but its existence is definitely abnormal. Why is this thing here? Steven checks if the coast is clear before walking around to make sure that the thing isn't there anymore.
The thing looked very much like a zombie. Because its arms are up, so it looked like a texture pack on a zombie. Oh god.
He walks back into his house before tearing down the door and boarding himself in, and that's the last we see from him. The description of this video is another base64 URL, but this time it's part of a Mediafire link to an image called ttlo.png. Though the link is broken and we can't actually download the image, we now almost surely know that Navy and Steven are both being watched and tracked down by someone, but that someone's intentions are still very much unknown. Is it really for killing animals? Well, killing animals, especially pigs, has been a recurring motif in the series. Navy, as you may notice, only feasts on pork. Steven starts off 2 of his videos killing a pig, and Inside Man is pretty concerned with preserving pigs, a goal that aligns with whoever the he we heard about earlier is. In any case, things are about to go from bad to worse, because in the next video, I Want to See You, we're actually back to some very oversaturated footage from Navy himself. I know this isn't his usual skin, but you'll just have to take my word for it, and I'll show this as Navy later on. He walks through a regular field, but then we see something odd in the tree next to him, and the video cuts. The word stop appears on screen, and the footage repeats over and over in some sort of loop before it breaks and the video ends. The floating head we saw resembled that of the entity that jumped Steven in the last video, and it's clear that what was coming for him has just come for Navy as well. The description is more base64, and it's the same message over and over and over again. Do the eyes see me? Creepy on its own, but the description of the following video is even more concerning.
No, that makes sense. So, it's like as if knowing that they're watching Navy's avoiding it, because I'm guessing he knows whatever happened to the base XD, which made him into base. Which is weird, but it's like as if he knows what's going on and is trying to look like he doesn't.
We're back to Navy's original blue hand, but in a place we've never seen before. A long corridor of the eye blocks, all watching Navy. Actually, wait, this isn't Navy at all. The difference is subtle, but these darker 2 pixels aren't on the edges of Navy's arm, but they are for whoever this is. This is someone new. The mystery figure walks for a while before reaching a sign with some odd text. He keeps walking and runs into a very simple looking base setup, and then a second sign, equally sparse, then a third. He then enters a room with a structure like the one we saw in experiment-base.json, with an eye block watching from atop a pedestal. There's a pit with a sign written in gibberish, and our player hesitates for a little before taking the plunge down. If we analyze the signs we walked past, we can see that each random symbol corresponds with a letter. Putting them all together, of course, spells eye. In the next video, Ascend, our mystery man descends deeper into the complex, entering a huge room with eyes everywhere. In the corner, we can spot another pig trapped in glass, a strange clump of leaves, a stream of water, and an obsidian shrine with eyes all over it. The player keeps walking through it, taking it all in. He passes by a cluster of signs with one word written all over them. I. He keeps walking into another group of signs with very unsettling messages. Please, my eyes. I won't kill them anymore. Navy 208, please forgive us. Ascend, take me back. Ascend is our god. Our character is momentarily
Alright, so we can tell Base wrote that. Because he says, I won't kill them anymore. I feel like this guy's just going to go through it all. I feel like I could just, like, sit here and watch the video. But I want to, like, point out, I'm intelligent too, I guess. So Base wrote those, that's easy then.
Transfixed, before then eyeing what looks like a replica of Navy's old base from the very beginning. He keeps walking. The player then reads one more final sign, asking if he'd like to ascend. This is by far the most important video we've seen yet. The text below the red face, who I can only guess is
Ascend is an angel like them.
Is meant to be Ascend himself, apparently confirms that he's some sort of angel, god, deity type figure. He's likely the same he who doesn't wish animals to be killed, hence why some of the signs are asking for forgiveness, saying they won't kill anymore. We can guess that it's this Ascend figure who's been controlling all the eyes, watching over Navy and Steven. But who is this new figure that's inside his complex? Is it Inside Man, Base? Luckily, the next video picks up right where this one left off, and the player falls into a totally white room. He walks through a few signs. Did I ascend? Do I ascend? Ascend with them. Trust our God, ascend. We will ascend. He keeps walking, through the white and back into the eye blocks.
This just reminds me of like FNAF.
And there's our god once again. The footage suddenly cuts though, and we're greeted by a familiar hotbar, Inside Man. The screen is half covered in eyes, and we can barely tell what's going on. Briefly, we can see the book in his hand is titled Ascend. He runs through plenty of signs that I can't make out, but this one definitely says, I need eyes. The next video picks up with Inside Man running through the same area, coming across these new red eye blocks. It suddenly cuts to a piece of text, which I'll come back to in a moment, and when it cuts back, Inside Man is investigating the large clump of these Ascend eyes, I'll call them. He hesitates before, of course, jumping down. Whoever Inside Man is, they're clearly going deeper and deeper into this Sky Eye complex. Whether they're part of it or some sort of infiltrator is yet to be known, but unlike the player from before, he seems to have some sort of idea of what he's doing. But let's revisit the text we saw earlier. Running it through a base 64 decoder, we get a MediaFire link to a file called ascendfootage.png. And I want to say now, do not do what I did and download files from the internet that you don't know who created. That's how you get viruses. With that said though, this is what the image looks like. It's a red filter over a beta house with a weird white light shining through the door. For a link that was on screen for essentially half the video, I was expecting something a bit more informative, but the next video takes us somewhere completely different. We now get to see a hand for the first time in a while, and it's an Alex skin we've never seen before. Someone actually left a comment about the skin change, to which Navy responds with a link to an Imgur file of a house. It looks like the same house we see in the video, except before some sort of disaster. Alex enters the house and looks around, showing us a strange black block in the top corner. The house extends much further back than you'd think, and Alex walks up to two tunnels, one labeled no exit and the other exit. After a bit of deliberation, Alex picks exit and continues down the hall. She heads down a side corridor and runs into a few signs. They're too dim to see at first, but brightening the video, we get "Do you see me?" Alex turns around and heads towards the exit before the corridor turns into eyes. And of course, Alex jumps. The story picks up right back in the next video, and Alex looks around to find themselves in a strange gray world, the playground. There are spiraling towers, a tall pillar, trees made of wool, strange floating cacti, and suddenly a jump cut to the Ascend footage image we downloaded before. When we cut back, Alex is standing on a pile of Ascend eyes, and it appears she's back in the headquarters, but a few of the buildings remain. Alex runs off into the darkness and seems to materialize inside a house in the following video, the center. After a second of looking around, Alex walks outside into a gray world with signs waiting for them. "I watched you. I know what you did to them. I'm not gonna let that happen. Welcome to Experiment Base. You are gonna ascend. Follow me and ascend with me and the other people." Beside her new house is a pen almost overflowing with pigs. Scattered all around are strange structures and pillars of blocks leading into clumps of Ascend eyes watching over it all. Alex follows a trail of torches into a nearby building. There's a sign that says art, and as they walk in, we get hit with a very strange bit of audio. The video cuts back, and Alex stands in front of a pit of Ascend eyes. I don't need to tell you what happens next, I'm sure you can guess. Let's try and digest what we just watched. It's uncertain if Alex is the same person as Inside Man, but given her hesitance and Inside Man's apparent confidence, I'd wager they're two different people. In that case, how Alex got to the house in the first place is unknown, but their behavior looks very similar to that of the player who got abducted into the Sky Eye. It could well be that they shared a similar fate. In any case though, after traveling through the various oddities of whatever this place is, Alex runs into these messages, which I'd guess are from Ascend himself. The most interesting sign by far though is this one. It implies that this whole setup is some sort of protocol or experiment made to deal with players who Ascend wants to capture. And actually, the sign Ascend with all of us makes me think that this writer isn't Ascend and maybe someone who works under him. Perhaps it's Base himself, though that's largely speculation for now. The audio we hear inside the house sounds like it could be some sort of audio cipher, though after putting it in both a spectrogram and oscilloscope, it came back with no hidden meaning. It seems like it's really just weird noise. There's also these buttons out on the front of the house, which I thought could be some sort of Morse or binary code, but no matter what I tried, assigning torches as dots, buttons as dots, multiple buttons as dashes, single buttons as dots, nothing gave any intelligible message. So all that we're left with is that this Alex player quote-unquote ascended, just like the others we've seen. But why? And by now, I'm sure you may have lots of other questions, but don't worry, because so does Navy.
Alright, so that's
our guy, Navy 208, is back, clearly not gone just yet. The arm we see here is the same arm that I told you was Navy a few videos ago, so we can assume that this is where he was sent after whatever that was captured him. Navy stumbles across a weird misshapen player named Void Base N566, and then we see something huge. This player has the exact same arm as the arm we saw from Sky Eye to Descend. This is that same player who was exploring the complex. Hello? Who are you? You. Me. You. Me what? What do you mean? Him. Who? Hello? Ask. Who is Ask? Him.
Ask him.
I don't understand. He wants me. What? My eyes. Eyes? Void then turns his head at Navy, and Navy begins to run away, sprinting from Void. Wait. No. No.
Navy's actually so real. He's just nah. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Finally, we're getting somewhere big. The description of this video is in binary and translates to the end of a Mediafire URL. Downloading it gives us an image of Void with more binary. Translating that gives us everyone will become Void. Evidently, when players ascend, they're turning into these hollow Void versions of themselves, hence the "they took him" in the description of Inside Man's first video. The ascend demon thing we saw earlier must be trying to convert people into Void for some reason or another, but we don't know why just yet, nor what the eyes have to do with anything. We've heard many mentions of eyes being important, but as for what they represent, it's still largely unclear. Regardless, we can only keep watching as Navy lands in a pit of ascend eyes with a now corrupted inventory. He calls out to Void, but gets no answer. He keeps walking into a larger room. And in the distance, there he is. Ascend. Watching, but Navy's too late to react. Ascend approaches fast and...
God, he's ugly.
well... he's not the most scary, is he? But after that, Navy's screen turns into the same misshapen form we saw Inside Man and the Ascended players had earlier. This must happen when their eyes are taken. He runs away and the video ends. The description is just another link to an image of Ascend with 7 eyes. In the video and title, he only had 6, and after the encounter, half of Navy's screen is now black. You can piece together the rest. And it's not only Navy who gets a visit from this thing. The next video following Navy's ascension is from the perspective of someone called Maximum01. They give us a tour of their house and nothing out of the ordinary happens, except at the end of the video they happen to chop up a rabbit, and in the last few seconds they watch as the sun cracks and turns red. Maximum is immediately taken off guard and opens his inventory to find this: text and lines littering the screen. Obviously he's confused, but just a few seconds later, someone named Hello joins the game. Maximum tries to talk to it, before suddenly the footage cuts and you can hear a man talking. It cuts back, and it turns out that what we just saw happened to Maximum live, and he freaks out. He runs back to his house, and then he sees it. He has a very reasonable reaction to seeing this thing and runs to hide inside his house. As he looks at the creature, it cuts to just a frame of its eye staring right at him, with a siren noise playing in the background. Hello says hello, and in a panic, Maximum boards up all of his windows. Before telling Hello there's no chance in the world he's leaving his house. He stays inside, panicking, and the video ends. The description of this video is in base 64, 32, and 2 respectively. Translating it all, it gives us this: hello, I am watching you. Come with me. The sun is gonna die soon. The end is near. It seems Hello is yet another entity that works under Ascend, and Maximum isn't his only target. I'm skipping 2 videos that I'll return to in a second, but in the video Open Your Eyes, we get a new player, this time with an Alex skin, Raid 10012. He is also giving a base tour, and all is normal until the screen cuts, and when we're back, all of his windows are replaced with eyes. The sun has died and gone a deep red, and standing behind him too is Hello, another victim. Though this time I want to suggest that maybe this Raid guy is the same Alex we saw in the playground video and in the house video. The link in the description is just another image with the text "Do you see me?" and that's the same text as both the title of the first video the Alex skin appears in, the description of the following playground video, and the text we see on the sign. So maybe these are actually out of order. Raid was first captured by Hello, as we see here, and then transported to the house and playground dimension we saw later, but that's just a theory. A game theory.
I hate how my mind went there as well.
If you recognize this arm, I don't even have to tell you who it is. Navy. Earlier, I skipped 2 videos to get to Raid, and this is the first. He's in a new white room with Ascend eyes by the entrance. He descends down a long staircase of blocks, opening each one as he goes. Halfway down, the screen cuts to the message, "It's your fault." Navy continues, unfazed. He arrives at the base of the structure to find a world that looks like the playground, with a horribly disfigured sun. But looking around around, it looks somewhat familiar. That's Navy's base. These are Navy's trees. This is Navy's world, corrupted and turned into whatever we're looking at, littered with strange towers he never built. He reaches a pit of eyes, and for the first time in the series, a character doesn't jump down an ominous pit. He returns to the tower and climbs up a little before he sees this.
Base, do you see me? Say hello. The end is coming. I reckon, Base. There's no reading that in certain order. 6 eyes though.
And that's it. The thing stares Navy down before we cut to the next video, and Navy is running through a dark corridor. He reaches a junction and keeps running before the footage cuts to a picture of a city. He keeps going, and only a few seconds later we see the same thing. A city with the text, "It's your fault." But Navy just keeps running. And then this. Why? Then Navy stops and encounters another player, Void and Base. "I know you." The screen cuts to black again. "It's all your fault, Navy. He is dead because of you. My brother." "What? You and that stupid war? If he can't have the sun, you can't either. I've been watching you for years. I know what you did. I know everything. You work for them. Sorry."
I was about to say, that could be over so easily that you just... Is that the Ukrainian flag? We're gonna find out soon that Navy's Russian or something.
Addressing the elephant in the room, the images you saw, if you haven't figured out yet, were all taken of Ukraine. The final image is the most obvious, and I was able to find it here, but the other images are also likely those of Ukrainian cities, with their signature blocky architecture. This is by far the most important video of the bunch, and we're finally getting a sense of what this series is all about. But before we talk about it, there's one detail about this all that I left out. If you look into the description, the binary turned Mediafire link isn't to an image, it's to a world, a sen.rar. And I repeat now, do not download sketchy files off the internet. Unless you're me, because unzipping the file we get a Minecraft world. It seems totally uninteresting at first, but going all the way back to the center video and looking in the description, we see a set of coordinates. Teleporting to these coordinates takes us to a hidden room with a chest and a written...
Alright. I know these videos are staged, but...
Teleporting...
Bro knows the exact Y and... I forget the letter, it's XYZ, right? He just knows that Y and Z coordinates, like...
To these coordinates takes us to a hidden room with a chest and a written book. Ascend by Base. The binary translates to, "I miss you. I hope you are good. Goodbye, brother." It's impossible to deny that this series has something to do with the Russian-Ukrainian war. The Ascend message placed over the Ukrainian soldier waving his flag, Base mentioning the war that apparently Navy is a part of. Now all the "why" and "it's your fault" messages in the previous videos make sense. We know Navy is somehow involved in this conflict and evidently on the opposite side of Base. The direct metaphor here is still uncertain though. What exactly is the message, and how do Ascend's goals line up with Base, Navy, and all the other characters we've seen? It could be that the killing of animals and pigs is a parallel for the casualties in war, and Ascend is just some sort of being that punishes those who takes part in conflict. But that seems like a stretch given only what we've seen. But regardless, the series is about to come to a climax, and we're about to meet arguably our most important character yet. The skin has a Steve arm, but at this point we know it's a common trait. They walk through a dark forest towards their home, the sun absolutely bloodshot. They look around. They know something is coming for them. The player digs into their attic and reads 4 signs. Hello, I am here. Bum. Do you see me? He heads back down and opens a chest, and we can see his inventory is corrupted, just like Maximum's was. He grabs a strange item though. Its name is in Russian, and it translates to end. The player steps outside and begins swinging the item. He knows something is coming, and he isn't afraid. The screen freezes, and the text "execute, run, execute" displays on the hotbar with a giant eye looking down at us. It stays like this until...
Some of these videos that like people make for the ARGs can be like scary. Like I was sitting there watching one probably 10 a.m. in the morning. My bedroom blind was closed, all of it. Which like, I've got 3. I've got 2 to the outside and 1 to like every other room. They were all closed, right? And I'm like watching this and I'm hearing noises. I'm like, oh shoot, what's that noise coming from? So I look up and I'm like getting a bit scared. But from this one, it's nothing. Like, it's just not the
A
same.
man talks in what is likely Russian. We see the message "Open your eyes," and Kyiv, the capital city of Ukraine, comes on screen with the text "Do you see me?" and the video ends. We're getting 2 messages at once here. At first, on the surface level, our protagonist is clearly somewhat competent in fighting back against the monsters capturing people, unafraid of taking them on with his strange gadget. On a higher level, the series seems to be telling us to pay attention to Ukraine, not to be oblivious to the conflict they're fighting. It may be that Ascend, the collector of eyes, is representative of some force taking eyes off the war, silencing those who are aware. But then why do so many people want him to save them? All we know for certain is that this Steve here is the only one we've seen who can truly fight back, and he's not done yet. The next video continues with the same player now inside a large white room in the void. He takes a look around, peering over the edge at the various towers and bridges, looking for something, until someone called "I'm good" says hello in chat. Our protagonist says hello back, and we can see his name is Russ00100. Where are you?
I trust Russ with my life. Oh. Bro, I love how they like the video cuts as soon as this dude's about to take a life.
What?
Valid response.
Where is Navy 208?
Alright, first of all, how does he know?
He's dead.
What? Who are you? Tell me, please.
I'm good. I'm you, because you're gonna think
Russ panics, threatening to jump off the map, asking I'm Good to take him out of this place. I'm Good stays silent, and Russ jumps off, but he doesn't escape, and he comes back with a corrupted inventory and broken skin. He runs back to the entity, begging. I'm Good gives no closure, and Russ keeps jumping off, again to no avail, until finally he jumps one more time and finds himself in an even darker world, approaching 3 more I'm Goods, as well as hello. The screen cuts to black with the words "Dead Trees" written all in caps. From what we've seen, Russ is the best hope of anyone figuring out how to stop Ascend and the rest of these beings. He's the first we've seen to survive a corruption, or at the very least get a reasonable response from an entity, but it's not enough, and apparently we now learn that Navy 208 never existed, that he was just a dream Russ created, though that may not necessarily be the case. In the description, we can find a code of ASCII, and translating it to text gives us another Mediafire link to an image with a simple ASCII, and translating it to text gives us another Mediafire link to an image with a simple message. Don't trust him, that's a lie. Don't trust who? What's the lie here? Who's lying? Is it I'm Good? Is Navy really alive? Russ walks through a corridor, reaching a sign labeled Navy 208. Another door with a sign referencing Maximum 01 and someone named Stambrop, and a final sign down the hall for Raid 11012. He opens tab and everyone is there. silent. Russ opens Navy's door to find him well and alive. The entity was lying. Russ begins to talk to him. Navy, I thought you were dead. Navy doesn't respond, and instead throws him a book. I can't talk. I found the way to escape. That thing lied. I'm real. I'm alive. Trust me, that thing is not real. The behemoth is the creator. He created Ascend. Ascend is just one of them, like you. Ascend recruits more people into this cursed place for the behemoth. In some time, the behemoth comes here to eat us. But don't worry, I know how to escape in case the behemoth is coming. Russ doesn't understand, and they decide to just wait. In the meantime, he opens the other doors of the corridor, confirming everyone is really there.
That got me. What happened? Give me that.
Navy
not even
throws
asking
Russ
me.
another book. If you are reading this, the behemoth is coming. Use this thing I gave you. You know how to use it. We need to kill him now, or everyone will turn into more creatures and this will never end. I just want to say goodbye to you in case you don't make it. I just wanted to play a normal game, but this ended bad. By the way, Base XD, our friend, was killed by the behemoth. We won't see him anymore. Thank you. Goodbye. Navy 208 to Russ 00100.
I think Navy forgot. Thanks you. Thank you. Diamond big axe. Oh. Alright. This
When
guy
the footage
becomes the
cuts
pumpkin
back,
guy.
Russ is
See the
holding a
flowers,
tulip and
everything
returns
connects.
to the room to find Navy waiting for him. They head together back down into a normal world.
Maybe? I'm so confused. What in portal frame?
Every player that was trapped in that final room we saw was captured by Ascend. It's likely that Stambarop is Steven, the player we saw with the bad Minecraft footage. And if Navy is to be believed, even Ascend himself is just another player captured and morphed into an entity by the behemoth to collect eyes for one reason or another. From my understanding, maybe Base, the original, had some sort of deal with the behemoth and was working on his side, hence how he has control over the fallen stars and other entities. And as he said, this isn't over yet. There are just 5 more videos left before we get to the bottom of this whole thing, the first consisting of an unknown player with a Steve skin innocently building a house where nothing at all of note happens. Though interestingly, it's the same house we saw all the way back in the image at the beginning titled Ascend footage. It could be that this is some sort of genesis, an inciting incident from the past, and maybe this is even gameplay of Ascend himself before he got turned into whatever we see in the future videos. But there's not that much to go off of, and luckily the next video has returned to Navy as he comes back to his world. Everything is totally normal and he repairs his house, thanking us for all that's happened. Though for some reason he gets advancements again, ones that he should already have unlocked, and there's no reason to be getting twice. But that doesn't matter, it seems as though he's finally won, right? But the binary in the description leads to a third unlisted video which begs to differ. A dark entity bigger than any we've seen yet standing before us. This isn't over yet. Navy begins to notice things that are wrong. His skin has gone black and he tells us there's something he found in his world that shouldn't be there. The footage bugs horribly while he runs, as if something is taking a toll on his world. And then we see it. A house that shouldn't exist because Navy didn't build it, but Steven or Stamberop or whoever this is did. This house is a block for block replica we see in the encounter with the entity video, down to the torch by the ground. But what it's doing in Navy's world now is a complete mystery. But Navy's not done. He takes us over to something else he found, a tunnel. This time I have no idea what this is referencing. It seems like a random tunnel, but who knows, maybe I'm missing something. Navy goes to leave the area, but as he does, we see it. Another black player watching Navy inside his world, but he doesn't notice. After all this, there's still something watching him. Navy takes us home, unaware the player is following him. He chops cacti, then plants it, and without warning runs back to the area with the house and the tunnel. The black figure is gone, but Navy discovers a pit he's never seen before. But he doesn't jump down, and instead just heads home again, looking behind him as if he feels someone is watching, but no one's there. And just like that, the video ends. Finally, we've reached the climax. Navy leaves his house to see eye blocks sprawling everywhere. Two giant entities stand behind his base with the dark player flying in front of them. Base, what is this? This is the end, Navy. What do you mean? I was never your friend, Navy. I hate you since you did what you did that day. I'm sorry.
Yeah, shout out to Zephyr. I don't even know how to say that. Zephyr 4506, my king. Oh.
Please.
Oh god, I hate the voices. The things that gonna destroy the world. The same as you did to my server with my brother. Yeah, just run off. Why don't these guys just close Minecraft? Base. Me. Oh god. Don't worry. Are you gonna finish your me when, Karis? Just stop this before it destroys my Minecraft world. Oh wait, I'm covering up like half the comments. I don't know where to put this. It's top right corner. I wonder if they spend time actually creating those like Let's go! Yeah, you got this, guys. Just me when you just have to write everything down. I don't know, guys.
Am I the only one wondering who Neo is? The final video on Navy's channel is called Outside. It's of a player with a black skin running through a looped series of tunnels covered in eyes. At the end, we can barely make out the legs of something massive, but as quickly as it started, it ends. And we're left with that. Except we're not, because as I finished writing the script, Navy uploaded one final video onto his channel. I was gonna end this video with a series of questions: what Navy's relationship with Base was, what all this had to do with Ukraine, what the behemoth was, but no, this video answers all of that. We open with Ukraine, what the behemoth—
I actually can't with these things. Oh my god, he's black? I'm not black. Oh, the other guy. Yeah, no, it's... Yeah, I don't even know what to say to that. Me when, oh my god, he's black. Look at it. Is this like a rip-off Siren Head? Thank you.
It was, but no, this video answers all of that. We open up to a player digging out a mine and then running up the stairs to find a sign. Don't kill animals, please. I like them, okay? The player responds, and we can see a strangely familiar name on a pig across the hall. The player exits the mine but is shocked to find that their entire base is now completely decimated. A tower of lava stands in the distance and a Russian flag blows in the wind atop the base. The player runs over to more signs. They don't know how to respond at first, but place down two of their own. Hello, Navy 208. No worries, we can be friends, Navy 208. Clearly, they don't really mean it though, as they then trash the signs with blocks, trashing the flag as well. But in their rage, they spot one more message in the rubble, a promise of revenge from yet another familiar name.
Behemoth.
Of course,
No.
Base says yes, and the rest is history.
Yeah,
This was the
4%
Genesis,
black for
Navy
sure.
208, Base XD, Ascend 2015. These were all Russian hackers,
Tom's a
Russian
pig, bro.
players who raided Base's server and griefed his home, a home that he shared with his brother, so naturally, of course, he would fight back. There's still the question of
No, you're
how
not the
exactly
wise
it
guy,
all
though.
got to be this way, what the eyes really meant,
Make the
and
wet
how
black.
Ascend 2015
God, is
turned
that
from a
racist to
normal
say?
player into that. But even now, the puzzle pieces to solving the mysteries of this story are all laid out in front of us. The question is, can you put them together?
Is that the end of the video? Behemoth is definitely black. I can tell you that much. Alright, well. God, what are these ads? Alright, Steve is white. I swear I saw this on TikTok. Alright, Bro, why are you asking if people are black? You should be asking if they're white. Alright, let's watch this. I'm watching all this. I have nothing else better to do with my day.
Whatever.
Oh my god, not another. Wait, do I have to mute this? Or is it?
Whatever you do at the crossroads, don't turn left.
This
This
is
is
the
the
Aura
first
video.
line in a book
Everybody
that Avery
black.
claims he did not write. 2 weeks ago, a YouTube channel
Hold on,
called
wait, does
Avery,
Avery
the
the
Mayo
Mayo
uploaded a
Actually exist. God. Bro. Imagine being put in one of these videos, making an extra account with like godly game of Sky Wars. Oh yeah, this is what everyone's been posting. Well, let's check out Avery the Mayo. Go Avery. Oh. Why is okay? Feature ship racism, girl. No, that was ages ago. You gotta trust. I don't know why I'm watching this right now. Anyway, back to the Minecraft ARGs.
YouTube video titled Weird Book I Did Not Write, where he shows us a mine that supposedly he never built. Inside the mine is a chest that Avery did
bodies in
not
the
place, and inside the chest is a book that Avery did not write. Inside the book is a very strange message. Whatever you do at the crossroads, don't turn left. Don't be fooled. It's listening. You can't outsmart it. It's listening to me.
Surely I
It's
get, like,
watching me.
they should,
It
like,
isn't
do,
from
like, a
this
small
world.
YouTube
At the
sponsoring,
crossroads,
and I'll
don't
get
turn
sponsored
left.
and
At the
stuff.
crossroads,
Can get sponsored
don't
by,
turn left. At the
black people.
crossroads, don't turn left. At the crossroads, don't turn left. Over and over, followed by a sequence of numbers. And that's it. It seems impossible that a whole mine just appears in your world without your knowledge, but Avery explains in the description of the video that the laptop he's playing on is from a storage locker. It already had Minecraft installed and this world already existed, but when Avery first loaded it up, it was just a normal world. He only now discovered this mine a few hundred blocks from his house. So in that case, what is this book? The contents are strange and it's not evident what they refer to. If anything, they just sound like some crazy rambling, but the numbers at the end are clearly some sort of code, so maybe we can solve it and figure out what this book is talking about. Except we can't. The numbers go higher than 26, so it's not any alphabetical code. There are 4 sections, not 3, so it isn't coordinates. And in fact, there's not a single cipher that comes up as a good match for this code. If it is a code, it's unlike any code I've ever seen, and I wasn't able to decipher it. So is that it? A strange one-off YouTube video and a dead end? Not quite, because for 2 frames at the very end of the video, Avery's inventory flashes a random pattern of blocks, and this time there is a code, because taking the first letter of the name of every block and capitalizing it if there is more than one, you get a string that perfectly matches the length of a Google Drive link that when you enter takes you to a folder. And this is where the true mystery begins. The mystery of a Minecraft world that doesn't exist. Opening the video named Footage 1, we can see a player in the exact same spot Avery was in the last video, except now he has way more items than he had last time. Presumably this is from his house, and he's come to use this mine in survival as part of this world. The book is now gone from the chest, but it could be that Avery just burned it because it creeped him out, or it's just this book in his inventory. Regardless, Avery lines up with the other strip mine and begins to start a new one into the wall, but when he does, he finds this.
A cave.
Nothing weird, it's just a cave, and Avery walks in to begin exploring, until he stops and sees this. It's hard to make out, but as he walks closer we can see what it is. Moss and grass. This is immediately a red flag because this kind of terrain does not generate in caves. Avery checks underneath it, but there's nothing else either. And when he runs back to grab his torches, he notices yet another patch of moss in the corner of the cave. Again, not natural, but not leading anywhere either. It's only when he heads back down the cave does he see it. A tree. Avery approaches the clump of greenery, and there it is. A tree unlike any other oak tree in the entire game. Whatever this is, it isn't normal. Avery
wait, hold on. This tree is Noah.
Backtracks a bit, and we get a better greenery.
This tree is me. If you can't tell, one tree's bigger than the other.
There it is. A tree unlike any other oak tree in the entire game. Whatever this is, it isn't normal. Avery backtracks a bit, and we get a better look at this shrub, for lack of a better word. And after some hesitation and circling around it, Avery decides to try mining the tree. And he does, with no problem. It looks just like a normal tree, except normal trees don't generate underground. And it's not the only one. As Avery goes deeper and deeper into the cave, he passes larger and larger patches of greenery, coming across more shrubs and even more trees, and even more moss. He pauses to talk at one point, but instead of commenting on the trees, he brings up something else. It's weird, we've only seen stone. And I guess he's right, the walls of this cave don't have any diorite, granite, andesite, or ores, but come on, there's a bigger elephant in the room here. At some point though, Avery's wish gets granted, and the cave turns.
This guy's been talking about the trees, but he hasn't talked about the fences with leaves on top. He's like, the trees don't naturally spawn so square.
Into terracotta, tuff, and deep slate. The greenery gets larger and larger, with the trees growing bigger and bigger. Until finally, Avery reaches the end.
I should do those ones YouTube's like pose for photos. Yeah, because trees just naturally spawn on top of each other.
Avery stops for several long seconds, just taking everything in. The room is a giant cave of green, with strange, unnaturally large trees forming a staircase on the back wall. The floor is covered in a massive field of moss, scattered with the strange trees we saw earlier. Avery slowly heads down the cavern wall, being careful not to take too much damage while maneuvering his way to the bottom. He looks around in awe as he explores the chamber, and from closer up, we can see a tunnel right between the massive tree gates. Avery searches around the trees for...
I'd like to see how they make these. Because, like, imagine having to spend so much time. Because I know they have, like, those apps so you can, like, make a world by, like, literally just drawing it on, like, some app and then it just builds it. But, like, that'd be cool to see.
For a few minutes, seemingly mesmerized by the build, and we can see that these gates are made of trees stacked on trees stacked on trees, made of spruce, mud, and oak. But the question here is obvious. What is this place? This kind of terrain obviously doesn't generate naturally, so who made it, and how does it just appear in Avery's world? Well, if there's any answer to that question, it's through this tunnel, because finally Avery decides to stop sightseeing and heads down the tunnel at the center of the room. Avery walks through the mud brick tunnel, turning to glance behind him every few steps, but of course, nothing is there. The world is set to single player. At least, it seems that way. Until this happens.
What's happening?
Something is wrong. It's almost impossible to notice, but at the far edge of the tunnel, the first pair of torches have suddenly been wiped out. Avery stares for a few seconds and continues walking.
Hold on, the whole thing just got blocked off. You're not smooth, bro.
Another pair of torches is gone. I'm not scared of torches turning off.
Valid. Oh, it's the other side.
And then another. I don't know what kind of practical joke this is, but I already heard you in the...
I already heard you in the cave.
I'm not scared of a game.
Valid. I'm pretty sure I just did scared of whispering. I was like, I'm pretty sure I heard the word whispering in that whispering. Damn.
I don't know why I just jumped down. I wasn't scared. But I felt... compelled. I've never felt like that in my life.
I mean, we really had nothing else to do.
What is going on here? Things just went from strange to incredibly creepy in a matter of seconds. This doesn't just happen on a normal world, but Avery did say he found this world on a computer he got from a storage locker. So maybe this is just a world that the old owner of this computer created, and it's just some strange adventure horror map. Case closed. Except it's not, because the video files aren't the only thing in this Google Drive folder. If you remember, there's also this PDF, and opening it, we see this. My exploration into a strange tunnel I found in my Minecraft world. I've been playing this world for a while and just discovered this. This is my documentation of the search. Notably, when I installed Minecraft, this world came pre-created. Always thought that was a little...
That's different. I'm sure this dude's probably going to point it out, but this, like, when I installed Minecraft, Minecraft was pre-installed before. another reason this isn't Avery. Look at me. I'm actually god tier intelligent.
Strange, but I'm not really sure. This seems okay enough, but remember what Avery said earlier. He found this computer in a storage locker with Minecraft installed. Not he installed Minecraft and this world was there. Admittedly, it's a pretty small difference, but still, why the conflicting stories? Something you may have also noticed that I can't explain is why Avery's name is now censored. He wasn't censored in the previous videos, but now he's both hidden his name and changed his skin, almost like he's hiding from something. But there's still a lot more of this footage, and if you want to figure out what's happening in this world, why it exists, and what it has to do with Avery, we have to keep watching, as Avery runs from whatever it is that's hiding in this world. Avery says he has to keep moving, even if he doesn't exactly know why, and the only way to go is down. Avery takes a leap into the giant pool of water before him and swims down into a junction of tunnels. After some hesitation, he burrows himself in the left wall for air before swimming down the left tunnel. He continues to navigate through the dark water, the tunnel getting narrower and narrower, with no end in sight. Until it opens into a giant cavernous room with just enough space at the top to get a bit of air. When Avery descends again, we can see tunnel openings sprawling across the walls. Avery scans around. There's no marker of where to go, just tunnels upon tunnels as far as the eye can see. And then he hears it.
Change his inventory down to the doors.
The same sound as when the whispers played previously. Avery rushes to dig into the wall, and as he blocks himself in, we can hear the whispers again. Quieter, but still there, as if they're passing by him. When the coast is clear, Avery digs out. But now what? He has no choice but to gamble on a tunnel and hope it's correct. He scans the walls again, no obvious sign of which one to pick. So finally, he rolls the dice.
Just go the random one.
The tunnel leads to another junction, and again, after a slight hesitation, Avery goes left. The tunnel continues, getting narrower.
I was about to ask before, if was that the crossroads?
And narrower.
Left at like 8 different crossroads.
And narrower.
Was it air pocket there?
Until finally, he finds himself in the oasis. Avery looks around the room, strangely, almost peaceful. He's in the middle of a square pond, flanked on all sides by the same uncanny trees. He stares off at the water for a second before towering up and getting a good look around. Nothing but trees as far as the eye can see. For a moment, he pauses, before something snaps, and he crafts a boat to get to the center of the lake. Without hesitation, he dives down into the tunnel and plugs up the hole. He makes another trip for good measure, plugging it even further. If this thing comes through here again, it has to break that, but I need to explore. He sails back to the edge of the lake. What it can't...
The thing passed earlier, so if it technically is coming back, it could already be through. So blocking it up's not totally a valid plan.
To avoid doing is loading the chunk. Avery chops a few trees and crafts a hopper with the spare iron in his inventory. His plan is simple: set a trap for the thing following him. But wait, did I miss something? Because how does he know that something is following him? Sure, those torches turned off, and yeah, we heard those noises before, but there's actually an even stronger piece of evidence I haven't mentioned. Remember when Avery said this? I already heard you in the cave. Well, it took me a second to figure out what exactly he meant, but then I heard this. It's almost impossible to make out, but on a few separate instances, while Avery was walking in that original cave, he would randomly pause for a second or two, and now we know why. He was listening. Every time he paused, for just a brief moment, you could hear footsteps on the stone behind him. Stopping just a fraction of a second too late to be quiet. But okay, if something is somehow really following Avery in a single player world, how can he stop it, or at least get it to reveal itself? Well, that's exactly what he's doing right now. Like he said, he needs time to look around and explore this world, but while he's gone, anything can just swim through the hole and replace the blocks to make it look like nothing happened. But if Avery turns down his render distance and puts items in this hopper, if he then goes far enough away and unloads the chunk, the only way for the hopper to be empty when he returns is if something loaded the chunk while he was gone. And then, whatever was following him would be exposed.
That's so random.
The trap is set. Now, it's time to explore.
This dude, whoever he is, might be like the smartest guy ever.
Avery walks through the trees, avoiding the lake so as to not load the chunk. Every inch of this place looks exactly the same. The same gray floor, the same strange trees. Everywhere he looks, there's nothing. Until, just in the corner of the screen, there's a sign. But it's hard to spot, and Avery doesn't seem to see it, and he keeps walking. Then he pauses. Interesting. That's the third sign we've seen so far. What? Where?
Wait,
third sign? I've only seen this one. But it turns out he's right. Going back and re-watching the footage, just barely hidden in the corners of the screen are two other signs Avery crossed earlier in the recording, though he gave no indication at the time that he noticed them. Avery goes back to all three signs. All of them are blank, so I don't know what to make of it, but Avery seems to be satisfied and he explains why. These signs all seem to point to one place. Both of these angled ones point in the same direction. And he's right. If you line up a coordinate grid with the location and rotation of the signs, you get this. So he's right, all of them point a certain way, and if you trace out their intersection, it hits one specific point. He also pulls off this brilliant move, which you rarely see from these protagonists, by turning the difficulty to peaceful because he ran out of food. Absolutely genius. But with that said, he returns to the lake to check on his contraption. And nothing showed up. Items are still flowing out of the hopper, which would be impossible if anything had loaded the chunk. Avery tells us exactly this. Nothing came through. Not to mention, the blocks are still in the same position Avery placed them to plug the hole. Now that he's shaken off whatever was following him, Avery sails back, presumably to find the intersection points of the signs. But before he does that, he opens up chat and says this. Something is here. What? How? Why is Avery saying that? Why isn't he sending it in chat? What did he see? I don't know if it can hear me. But I'm not taking any chances. The grass block. When Avery left the chunk, he didn't just set one trap for the entity, he set two. Without mentioning anything to us, he placed a grass block next to a block of dirt. In Minecraft, grass can't spread if the chunk isn't loaded. The only way that this block is now grass is if something other than Avery loaded this chunk. I'm not scared, but my gut says to keep moving.
He keeps saying I'm not scared.
Maybe I am scared.
Bro. That's like sad. God, I can feel the tears.
The other sign was pointed head on.
I failed you so many times. I committed so baby, I'm home again. I thought that I could run away.
Avery walks through a tunnel. A tunnel which quickly turns into a maze.
More to say,
And slowly but surely, dead end after dead end, Avery navigates through it.
to be somebody else. It's alright. Baby, here I am. I was lost. Now I'm found again. It's alright. Baby, here I am. It's alright. 'Cause baby,
Avery is clearly smart. Smart enough to set a trap, and smart enough to set a backup. But whatever this thing is that's following him, it's smart too. Smart enough to block up the tunnel it entered from. Smart enough to refill the hopper with items after loading the chunk. Smart enough to hide its presence. This world seems to be guiding Avery somewhere. The whispers in this tunnel coercing him to enter the cave. The signs pointing to the secret entrance under the tree. Whatever this world is, it's leading Avery. But to what? We don't know. All we do know is that he isn't
I don't know
alone.
if I would have
And finally, Avery exits the maze into another giant room with
that's. Hold on. I've seen this on TikTok. It's a sign that you've got to like.
what looks like a cipher above a door
Yeah, cipher.
with
Alright, let's see if
three
we can get a
levers
good image
right
and
in
maybe
front of it.
ChatGPT.
Avery stares up at it, says,
Alright, hold on. Let me get some paper. I'm gonna write it down and re-put it into like ChatGPT. God, this is like. I think this is my sister's notebook. Alright. I'm guessing this dude's gonna do it himself. Wait, let's see if he gets
says he'll need a pen and paper, and blocks up the tunnel where he came from. The footage ends with him staring up at the code, deep in thought.
Wait, he's just doing it by
From
hand.
what I can see, the code atop the doorway looks something like this. It doesn't immediately
Oh.
remind me
There we go. I don't even need to like retake it down. Alright. ChatGPT. Alright, let's. I should look at my like ChatGPT searches. Alright. Can you under Let's just I won't even ask it to decipher it yet, just ask if it knows what it means. Come on. Because if ChatGPT can't work this out, I don't know how this guy's going to with paper. Let's see.
of anything, and plugging it into a cipher decoder gives me no ideas either. Running each of the
Because he's gone through every... Alright, here we go. ChatGPT, come on, lock in. Yeah. So we haven't got any clue about what this guy does. Info. It seems to be going around it, which I've noticed a lot with like some ChatGPT. It just goes around it. There we go. Can I skip an OCR check? Here we go. Clear sentence, maybe sentence made. Alright, now while that thinks, we're just gonna
Candidate ciphers just gives gibberish every single time. Whatever this code is, there's unfortunately no way that I or Avery can solve it. The second half of the footage picks up with 17 minutes of just staring at the wall. And then he gets it. Okay, I guess it was solvable. Avery says it's a good poem, but doesn't actually reveal what it said, only that it uses cipher stacking, a technique where two ciphers are layered one on top of the other to make a code almost undecipherable. How Avery actually solved it with a pen and paper is beyond me, but the puzzle isn't over yet. There's still this gate, which Avery suspects is some sort of combination lock, but instead of a pen and paper, his solution this time is a bit more, how do I put this, efficient.
Oh, bro, that's actually so valid. Hold on. Oh, you guys can't see this. That's actually cold. This is. My AirPods just disconnected. Right,
And
whoever
with
this
that,
dude is.
he's wait.
Hold on. I think this dude and I just had the same thing. If you look down the bottom left. Hold on. Let me get my pause game.
And
up.
with that, he's
Have a look down here. I got it. One more. I got a pre-pause.
and with that,
Durlord 3. That's the name. Alright, so whoever this dude is Durlord 3. This skin that we're looking at now is Durlord 3, so it's not Avery. Bro, give me one of these channels, I will figure it out.
wait. Who's Durlord 3? For the first time in this footage, Avery's sensor bar lingers for just a second too short, and we get a glimpse of the name. This isn't Avery's name. This isn't Avery's skin. Maybe the reason that we got two different stories about where this world came from is because the player we've been
like this dude's
watching
been
this
reading-
entire time isn't
Actually-
Avery at all. But if that's the case, then who is this? The world
It's
at the beginning is
Durlord
clearly
3.
the same one that Avery was playing on.
Anyway, if it isn't obvious, I'm Whiffies. I'm joking, no. I've got the same IQ as I could
So
become one of these.
what's
video
going on
creators.
here? If it is Avery on an alt account, why the conflicting stories in the description and the document? And
guy
if it's
spends
not
like
Avery,
20
then
dollars.
who is this other person and why are they claiming that this is their world they found? I genuinely just don't know, but the only way to find out is to keep watching as Durlord walks through the tunnel after the puzzle and finds himself
Alright, give me a second.
in the village.
I'm gonna watch from my kitchen while I grab something. haven't had a single voice in the last like 5 minutes. Guessing nothing important's happened. Alright. Try roll. All right, let's see. All right. Also, what I just paused then for is okay. Barrels, chiseled bookshelves. When did they come out? That and those like. Ugh. Trails and Tales update. I don't know when that. 2023. So this chiseled bookshelves only came out about 2023. God, this is gross. I had an ice mocha last night and just let it melt in my car. And then I got up at like 10 and went out and got it and realised. I feel like this is the first thing I would have done in this situation. Just never mind. I would have gone straight to that centerpiece. Let's see. My dude's just checking everything out there. Yeah, see, I'm mining into this and seeing if there's anything inside. So it is hollow. There's just nothing. Bro, where's the narrator at? Sorry, I'm gonna go. Didn't work. So whoever this dude is has to be like the smartest guy around. But they
It's empty.
No man.
This village is strange. It's clearly abandoned, if the cobwebs and literal holes in the roof didn't make that obvious, and all the chests and containers have nothing inside of them. There's also an interesting amount of yellow in the carpets, beds, and flooring, but wherever Durlord looks, he can't find anything of interest, no lead on where to go or what to do from here. The fountain and statue in the town center is by far the most eye-catching decoration here, but like we can see, it too is empty. There's no path to take from there. So is this the final area then? The final answer to what's been going on with this world and what's been following him? I'm not sure, and clearly Durlord isn't either, since he keeps looking around for anything out of the ordinary, anything that might give him a clue of where to look next.
Ooh, back house. There's a house at the back. This looks like I'm eating something out of like a... It's iced mocha. But there was about that much mocha left. Like the chocolate on the bottom. And ice. So it's just watered down mocha. This is not going down well. Tastes nice. I'm gonna keep listening and doing stuff. This one's much different to other houses. I don't know if you can hear me. It's much darker. It's yellow. Oh, trapdoor! Looks like. Imagine from the noise. That is so creepy.
I hate it here. These idiots are insufferable. They think that devotion will save them. Rest assured, it will not. Not that it will do them any good to believe that anyway. The ones who realized it pretend they didn't. But it doesn't help that there are some of them who truly believe they'll be saved. The king is coming, Maya. If anything, I wager that their king is already here. It's watching me write this. I don't particularly care. I just want this to be done with. The sooner I can leave, the better.
Oh, I get that lockdown.
He's arrived. I don't know why anyone is surprised to find that out. This is exactly what they were hoping for. I'm going. I'm leaving this here in the rare case someone finds it. If you have found this, I implore you, turn back, disconnect, forget about this world. It's not for you. If you've come here, you must be curious. I know you must want to continue onwards. So I know that this is a heavy ask, but please, do not go any further. For your own good, do not.
So what does Dirt Lord 3 do? I bet he's just gonna keep going, honestly. There's no way he turns back. It's against his blood. He blocks it off again. He seems to be quite against whatever this thing is following him. Nice coffee. Let's go. Which is now dripping down. Ow, just cut my tongue. The Crossroads. Is it? It seems like the thing that's most like the Crossroads. If this dude goes left, go right. Or go back. Two valid options. Oh wait, this dude didn't read the don't go left at the crossroads. Is that black concrete? Also, where'd the dude go? I'm not gonna lie to you, my first thing here would be to mine that black block and figure out what it is. There's the whisper. Hold on. Alright, I'm going to try deciphering this. Or is this the code that went to Avery's inventory? No, it can't be because I only had ones and twos. Alright. Where'd my sister's Love Heart Poppet notebook go? Alright. Sorry, and this is our pen as well. We got nothing. 4 name tags. I'm gonna guess that's an E for the 4th letter in name tag. A letter in the words name tag. Book and quill, so B. Yellow dye. Blank. Is that... I want to say vines. I'm just going to M. Yeah, I'm not doing all this. He can do it. I'd just like to let you know I couldn't do it. Weird. Yeah, because his inventory changed the noise came. Alright, never mind. I'll take it back. Where's the narrator? There's a lot to go through for. I feel like I should be like. That's weird. It blocks it before you can even see it. I was watching videos. Supposedly this is the Yellow King, who feeds you with knowledge of everything. Alright, we can see a yellow speck there. It's gold. Actually, it could be gold. Nothing's chasing him. Now, what we know about this guy is he's the original owner of the computer. He downloaded Minecraft. I can't remember. Did he go into a strip mine that wasn't his? Then he came out. Went to make another one on the opposing side. Found random caves. Then went and saw some creepy stuff that wasn't chasing him. Was being chased first, sorry. Yeah, I'm just gonna...
There's no escaping.
Where's back where you came
There's no escaping.
Whatever you do at the crossroads, don't turn left. Don't be fooled. It's listening. You can't outsmart it. It's listening to me. It's watching me. It isn't from this world. At the crossroads, don't turn left. 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 And the footage ends. Right there. Durlord was the person who wrote the book in Avery's
Sorry,
world.
can we just point out, don't turn
it
left?
shouldn't even be possible that the tunnel led him back to that mine. Durlord found this world on his computer, and Avery found Durlord's old laptop in the storage locker and has been playing on it ever since. But what is this world? What was following Durlord in this footage, and most importantly, what was behind those gates? I didn't put that sensor bar there, that was in the original footage. Whatever is behind that black square was enough to drive probably the smartest protagonist I've ever seen into running for his life. Something that a whole village of people was trying to summon. Something that this entire world has been hiding. A king? What does that even mean? I don't know what to tell you, but I can tell you one thing. The code at the end of the book, now with this footage, we can solve it. Each number corresponds to one slot in Durlord's inventory. 1 here and 36 here. Take the first letter of each item, or whatever number is indicated after the dash. From that, we can get this.
Yeah.
Run
How do you know
Avery.
Avery's name?
It's here. Durlord was giving one last warning, hoping that whatever was following him wouldn't see. But how? How would he possibly know that Avery would find this world? There's no way for him to know who Avery even is. Whatever he saw behind those doors, whatever he knows about this world now, we may never understand. But one thing is certain. Whatever was coming for him is coming for Avery next. This isn't over.
I wonder how many, like... That's crazy. Alright. Yeah, we just thought that'd go up. Top comment. What the F? Yeah, that's so real. That Durlord 3 had to be one of the best protagonists, and like oh, that's crazy. Like, you could compare him to Light. Like, he's thought of everything. Yeah, that's like, see what I was saying before? Like, imagine building that. That'd be crazy. Oh. Damn. Duh. Wait, what? How did Durlord know there was 2 doors? Bro, he probably just was checking. These comments are not valid. Alright. Well, I feel like 2 hours of Minecraft ARGs has to be enough for you guys. Anyone who watches this, if you've gotten to this point and don't think I'm racist because of the things I've said, thank you, because I'm not racist. I don't hate any other race. Yeah, thanks for watching, and comment if I should keep doing this or try other things. But shout out to Durlord 3. And wifeys. Wifeys. This dude has the most creative, like, things ever. To be writing these Minecraft ARGs. Oh god, that's... he's very storytellingly creative. Like, look at this. Like, he's made heaps of these. 2 months ago, solving the Matchbox mystery. 12 days ago was that, searching for a world that didn't exist, which had to have brought all these back to everyone's attention. Like, we never saw that in the intro. That's a crazy front cover. But this dude does other videos. Wait, hold on, what's his most recent one? Decent videos. Let's see. Surely that's his most recent one. Like, I don't see Wi-Fi's. So there's all these details. Check him out.